Hello my crafty friends, Corrine here from Corrine Crafts. I hope you are well. I hope you are getting all your Christmas crafting done and you're getting ready for the festivities. Again, I've done a very simple card for today. We're getting close to that time when we need to be posting all our cards. We don't have time for those gorgeous ornate ones like I did with that gorgeous blue flower. I love those, but sometimes quick and simple, clean and simple is what is needed. And this is sort of your monochrome with that little pop of gold on there, but basically silver, black and white otherwise. And this is what we've put together. So if you want to see how I made it, please watch the video now and then we'll see what you think. As I said in my last project, we're now on the last week of November, so if you've got any cards still to make, we need to be making them sort of quick and simply, using the minimal products and getting them out in the post as soon as possible. They also need to be really sort of postal friendly. So this is where I am at with these last few cards that I'm putting together. So I've got a 6-inch pre-bought card base, which I have put a square of silver onto. And I've got a 5-inch piece of card. Now I'm going to put another layer in there because you can see that's a little bit big. But what I've also done is I've just stamped a sentiment onto there with that. So this is just my regular Christmas stamps that I like to use all the time. So that's going to go on there and we're going to have another layer in between. Really simple, 6 inches, 5 inches. Was sorted. So first bit I'm going to do is I'm going to do some work on the topper. So I'm going to get my paint station, and look at that, it's Christmas. I put a new piece of kitchen roll in. Wow, hope you're impressed. And I'm going to get my mat. Oh no, I won't get my mat, I'll do it. Oh, I've got rid of what I was doing it on before. I'll have to do it on that. Right, so I'm going to get my fabric spray paint by Sticks 2, which I love, and you can spray it on and it's quite textured. But it does take a while to dry. So if you want to be a little bit quicker, this is what I am suggesting. So get the paint, put a little bit on your mat. It really does only need to be a little bit. Then I'm going to get a sparkle pen, Wincastello, any type of sparkle pen, and drop a few. Look at that, that looks lovely. Now I'm not going to go straight in there with my sparkle pen because I don't want to get black on it, and then I'm just going to mix it around, and this is going to make a lovely black ink for you to use. And I'm just going to go have a few splatters all over. This is going to be a really simple one. That's all I need. I've actually created far too much here, so let me just get rid of that. And just by putting in that little bit of sparkle, it will dry a lot quicker. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go in with my Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white. I love this. Again, this is a lovely thick texture. You can see on the top of here I've got a little bit of water on there. I just puddle that around and I get the white. That's what I needed to clean my brush. And then we're just going to dab some white over, sort of concentrating, oops, missed that completely, round the outside edges a little bit as well. You could have even masked over your sentiment, and then you're not going to get splats on that, but it's up to you. I'm not doing too much in the middle because there's going to be an ornament over the top of there, and then this can just be left to dry. So it's quite effective, isn't it? We can put some sparkles on it and everything at the end. So let me just move that out of the way, and that can be drying whilst we create our ornament. This is such a quick card, so easy. So I found an ornament die set. So it's got an outer ring, which we're going to cut out of silver, and we've got a detailed one, which I'm going to cut out of white. Now this is a 350 GSM. It will struggle to cut through initially, but I usually can persevere and get it through. So let's do the easy one first. So this is the encapsulated glitter card. So if you don't like the feel of glitter, get an encapsulated glitter card. Die cuts beautifully, and then it just makes it really easy for you to create lovely shapes. So you can see it just holds in. You just have to almost just like release it like that. Now this will struggle, so what I tend to do is I'm going to put a shim in because it's a very detailed die. Actually, I tell you what I could do Let's see what this does. I don't know what this is going to do. Let's try this as a shim. This is my cut tidy. So if ever you have seen it, it's like a plastic sheet. And I know a lot of people struggle with some dies, but cut tidy is absolutely brilliant for your detailed dies. Now it should go between the die and the card, but I'm just using it as an extra shim. And what it does is it pushes that cardstock, as you can see, into my die. And look at that. It's nearly all cut through. I'm just going to have to give it a little bit of a nudge. So let's poke that out of there. It'll pop out, but it's got all the bits in. And that's not going to be any good because we're not going to be able to see. So all you need to do is go round and poke those out. Now, if they're not coming out like that, we can put it back in the die and try it with a different shim. Let's try it with this shim first, because that hasn't all cut out. I can feel there's a lot more pressure on that with that extra piece of card in. That's another piece of, just a scrap of glitter card that I'd got left over from something. Oops. And let's see what this one does. Ah, that feels, look, I can see they're darker pencil lines. So now when I go through there, look, yeah. Or if you do it like that I've just done, you just have to make sure that the die clicks back into the grooves, otherwise you'll just get a die cut mess. But if you do it like this, now if you've got a die brush, you can get all the bits out that way. But I'm just going to go over with my pokey tool. Just bear with me. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? Really, really pretty. So now we need to to stick the two together. Now, if you wanted to, you could stick this on and then you could undercut if you wanted to. But I quite like it with the band around the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue onto this scrap of card that I've finished with now anyway. And then that was a bit more glue than I'd intended. I'm just going to tap it into there and then tap out the excess. Like I said, that was a little bit more glue than I'd expected, but never mind. Tap that through. And all it does is it just catches there. So have I got it in all the places? I think I probably have. And then that one just fits on there. And like I said, if you wanted to, you could undercut and take off that excess. So let's just get a cloth, because you can see it lifting, because it's encapsulated, it's a coated cardstock. Make sure you do not use a solvent-based glue when you're using your encapsulated glitter card, otherwise you will just lift off the coating. That looks really lovely, doesn't it? Really, really lovely. And all I need to do then, pokey tool through there. And then I'm going to get my try. Now, it's not very often I mix silver and gold, but we're going to today. And we're just going to do, I'm going to do it different to I've done my other one. Let's do that. Now, it's not always that easy to poke it through. So I find the easiest way is with a pair of pokey tweezers. So take the end, or halfway point rather, put it through there, poke it through. Can you see it's come through? Just grab it with your hands and then pull. It's as easy as that. And then all I'm going to do is take that through front. If you do it front to back, it's so much neater. And then what you can do then is you can always get your glue. Got a little bit on the nozzle there, and then I can just put that glue off the nozzle onto there, and then that will hold it in place. Now the other thing I have done is I have tied myself a little bow, and that's going to go on there, so you're not going to see it. And this is all we need to do to put the card together. So I've got one of those. So this is the wet one. There we go. You can still see it's wet. I've got lots of lovely big bubbles there, still not dry, but this one is nice and dry. So I'm going to take my bauble and I'm going to pop it there for the centre, and then I'm going to turn it over, and we're going to just grab a little bit of red liner tape. I cut far too much of that, so gold twine, didn't I? Let's see, am I happy with that? Let's go to there. I said these cards are going to be really simple I'm really minimalist, but cut that in half. But I think sometimes you just need quick and simple that's going to have a bit of a wow impact. Get that back in the centre. Put that to there. Turn that over. Put a piece of tape on just there, and I'll just put another piece on just there. And then I can cut all this spare off. There we are. Just like that. We can find the card base, which I have put nice and safely. As I showed you before, we don't want to go straight on with that. I've got another white layer as well. And I think I might just go in with, I've got a fine liner pen. So let's just tip that to one side. Let's take that out. And I might just go, let's go all the way down. We can go around the bumps. It's quite handy, isn't it? Now, all I would say is either get a ruler out and draw straight lines, or make it clearly wobbly. Don't try and draw a straight line by freehand, because it won't work. I often say this when I'm doing these, you either have to make it, get your ruler out and be very precise, or like I'm doing now, and make it very clear that you're not trying to do a straight line. You know, wiggly is what you want. And then we can just go. There we go. Yeah, just a little bit of extra. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to put this one on while I decide, do I want to raise that as well, or do I want that one on flat? What do you think? I wish I could hear you give me some good answers. Do I want the second layer on flat or raised? Don't know. So as you know, I like to get my PVA glue on my tape, foam tape. This one hasn't been used today, so it's got a little cap on it. There we are. Just so that I can adjust it if it isn't perfectly straight. And you've seen before now, I have had to do that. Now, I do like my first layer of foam tape to go vertically. Just like that. Now, question, do I want that flat or raised? I think I'll go flat. So let's get some regular glue. And I think what I'll also do is I'll take the back off this red liner, because it'll hold it. It'll be extra adhesive. There we go. Don't worry about that one. Oh, I've just got glue on it. I'll have to get that off in a minute. And that string that I'm using is so fine that it's not going to cause a problem. I've got some glue on there. Let's get rid of that. Right, let's make sure that is on. So I think what I need to do is I need some 3D glue. Actually, I might do it with a foam pad first. Let's flip that over and get a couple of foam pads on. Just because there's quite a lot of an area. We can always do 3D glue as well. Okay, so let's just get the 3D glue going as well. Oops, that's emptied now. And that can come through here. So I just want to put a tiniest little bit of 3D glue on here. Just squeeze a little bit out. Oh yes, that's nice. And put that onto there. Then I can get my bow, making sure I've got it the right way round. And we can put that onto here. Now I saw on my craft table, I had a couple of gold gems. See if I can find and get my tweezers. And we've got these. Again, I was clearing out some crafty kits, some old demos, and these were in them. Right, you can't see what I'm doing there. I forget sometimes. Oops. Let's do a third one just up there. And I think I need a silver one on there. Gorgeous Aurora Borealis ones. And I've got that size I think will be good. And I can just put that over there like that. And that, my friends, is today's. Again, a very, very modern design. Very quick to put together. But perfect for posting. It's still going to go as a regular letter. It's not going to need to be going as a large letter because it's not too high. But again, it adds that little bit of sparkle, a little bit of interest. I just want to move that one over a bit because it feels like they're in a bit too much of a straight line. You know I don't like doing straight. There we go. There we are, it's better. Yeah, sorry, just tweaking and fiddling. Nice little bauble, little bit of sparkle, little bit of interest. And there we are, really quick and easy. So I hope you like that. I'm going to leave you with that one. As always, I've got a link on the left, probably to my Christmas playlist in case you want to look for something else, and a link on the right to subscribe. As I was saying, if we can get my subscriptions to 7,000 by the end of the year, that would be absolutely fantastic. I would be so happy, and thank you to everybody that helps me. And I will leave you there for today. Oh, look at that, casting a shadow, sorry about that. And then don't forget there are links down in the description as well. So if you do make anything from my projects that I've made, please do share them with me. Just pop over to Facebook and leave me them, and I will see them hopefully and be able to reply. So until next time, my crafty friends, you take care, enjoy your crafting, and I hope you're getting excited for Christmas now and that you're starting to get nice and organised. And I'll be back with possibly my final Christmas video on my next one. So until then, my friends, you take care, enjoy your crafting. Bye for now.